Meteorologist Clay Smith is in our Storm Alert Weather Center. Clay?
Well, I hope you're having a good start to your work week. We had some nice conditions this past weekend, and now as we close out the last couple days of April, it's going to be pretty nice here across the Tennessee Valley. And of course, today will be in the 80s later on. Going to be a nice day. We'll have occasionally gusts up to about 20 miles per hour. But all in all, if you have plans to be outside, especially after you get off work later on, I can assure you the humidity is going to be nice. Pollen's not as high as it was the last couple of weeks just because of the rain last week, but we're still going to have some minor issues as far as tree pollen is concerned, so be prepared for that. Temperatures tonight going to fall back into the 50s for the most part. Going to be a few areas that stay in the low 60s, but this is pretty comfortable for this time of the year. Cloud cover will start to build in somewhat, especially after midnight, but we are going to stay dry. So let's take a look at your futurecast and kind of track out, again, the next 48 hours or so. We're going to continue to see kind of just a mix of sun and clouds. I think we're going to favor more sunshine today with those gusts picking up out of the south. That'll bring in that moisture and kind of set the stage for storms later this week. As we continue into the overnight, notice how the cloud cover starts to increase from the south. Tomorrow is going to be more cloudy than what we're dealing with today, especially during the afternoon and evening hours, and we'll have the chance for a few spotty showers. It's not going to be anything widespread, but there's going to be a few downpours here and there. Notice by about 10 o'clock, you see just a couple green dots, and nothing like what we had last week, but don't be surprised if you run into a storm tomorrow, especially after about 5 o'clock in the evening. But also don't be surprised if you don't see rain at all, because that's what's going to be in store for most of us. And then Wednesday is pretty much going to be an identical pattern to Tuesday with a couple of afternoon showers and storms possible. But rainfall over the next 5 days, again, we'll have a better chance a little bit later this week, Thursday into Friday as the front comes through. So all in all, about 1/4 to 1/2 of an inch. That's going to be the average rainfall. Some areas could pick up around an inch of rain, especially as we continue into Thursday and Friday, mainly in the higher elevations just off to our east. So there will be some rain in the forecast this week, but not as much as last week. And look at this, the pattern's going to start to transition into more of a dry pattern moving into the first 6 to 10 days of May. So we'll keep an eye on that, but this would limit our severe threat moving forward. And over the last couple of weeks, it's kind of been parked out into the central part of the country, the plains, the Midwest, and that's going to be the case. So likely to see more severe weather in places like Texas, Oklahoma, while things remain relatively calm here locally. As for your next 7 days, again, we are going to have some nice weather, but the storm chances will be enough to make you want to download the Local 3 weather app. So be sure to do that. That'll keep you updated. Has a great radar feature, and I encourage you to have that, especially as we continue through May, because May is still a severe weather season here locally. But over the next 7 days, again, isolated storms each afternoon and evening, especially Tuesday and Wednesday. Slightly better chance Thursday and Friday. And then the first weekend in May, no issues whatsoever. Great temperatures with plenty of sunshine.